Hey guys, it's been a minute.
It's been 84 years.
You might be wondering where I've been at, but really you should be wondering what's been at me.
Hell no.
Now that we've addressed the elephant on the eyelid, today we're going to be talking about thrifting with intention and why it's harder than it looks. One comment that I get almost constantly is,
"My thrift stores could never. I don't have any good thrift stores. Your thrift stores are just better than mine."
as if I find everything in one stop, not 13. So one thing that I've been trying to do the last couple of years is thrift with intention, which means thrift from a list and try to stick to it, leaving room for the occasional amazing thrift find that I can't live without. Now, back in the day, back in the day, I used to load up my cart with any and all things that I found cute or cool, but that is not how I operate these days. Which means that it is very much in the realm of possibility to walk out with absolutely nothing, which has happened to me quite a bit lately. Now, my original intent for this video was to show myself going in with my long, extensive list and walking out with a bunch, if not a few, of the things on my list. But that's not what happened. So instead of scrapping that video, which I very much wanted to do, I thought it would be a good opportunity to turn it around and talk about the realities of thrifting and bring you guys along with me because you know I filmed my defeat. So first, we rolled up to ARC. Granted, it was 5 p.m. on a Saturday, which is the tail end of half price day, so that was my mistake. But going in, knowing that they had a lot of furniture, I went in hoping to find a kitchen table with chairs, a shallow side table to put next to my desk to organize my craft supplies and my art supplies, a floor lamp for the living room, a small but cute vintage chair to put beside my vanity so this one can go back in the living room, as well as some other odds and ends like 4x6 frames, an 8x10 frame, and a 16x20 gold ornate frame to replace the one that got broken in the move, and other miscellaneous things like corbels, curtain tiebacks, and hooks. Someone donated this frame with a picture of their grandma still in it. Justice for grandma. One thing that I think has really helped me with my impulsivity control when it comes to thrifting is actually vlogging. Because just the act of me documenting the thing helped me develop more discernment when it comes to whether or not I need the thing or whether or not I love it. Just the act of documenting the thing and showing it to you guys, I feel like provided me with the dopamine that I needed that I normally would have gotten from buying the thing just because. And just by having something to remember it by in my camera roll really helped me to put things into perspective so I could appreciate it without needing to buy it. I still struggle with that concept, especially when it comes to things that are my hyper-focus, like fantasy, but I did resist the urge to thrift this campy AF unicorn painting from 1984. So yeah, in the end, I ended up walking out with nothing, and that's okay. It's still hard, especially when you walk in with high expectations, but then you're met with the crushing realization that the thrift gods did not in fact bless you this time. But I think it's worth it having a perfectly curated home and not one filled with clutter that doesn't spark you joy. My next attempt several days later brought me to Salvation Army, mostly because it was across the street from Costco and we had some errands to run.
Oh my God, you look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
See, that's another thing I'd like to point out. Not all of us have time to devote hours upon hours to go from store to store, which means we might need to resort to hit and run style stops where you don't have time to scour the shelves, where instead you have to skim the racks lickety split, which was easy here because though they had a lot of really nice furniture when it comes to their home stuff and their clothing, there wasn't a lot to choose from. So I think I spent about 10 minutes in there. Now, the last stop of the day, I did have some luck. The Goodwills in the area are pretty nice and well organized, so it's always an aesthetic pleasure to browse, even if you don't come home with anything. Great for window shoppers, especially since the prices are not it. This celestial unicorn, $40. So yes, they had some cute things, but again, my aim was furniture and frames, in which I didn't have a lot of luck, unfortunately. So with that, the universe blessed me with the Consolation prize. I did get a couple of workout tops, which technically aren't on the list, but they are on a list, just not the one that I shared with you guys. I also did get one frame. However, she's a 5x7, not a 4x6 or an 8x10, but it's still pretty. I am finding that it's a lot easier to find 5x7 frames than 4x6 frames, so I'm contemplating reordering some of my photos in 5x7 just to make it a little bit easier. And if I have duplicates, I'll keep them in an album. And yes, I did get the Lord of the Rings shirt. Who do you guys think I am? So on day 3, I decided to break ye old rule to not grab a cart until you find something, otherwise it might jinx it. Because that definitely is not true. When I strike out, it doesn't matter if I grab the cart or not. I started on the knickknacks, which I definitely don't need.
It's a unicorn, but his horn is a little droopy.
But I did find a fairy. She's so cute. Her nose is a little messed up. There's like a scratch across it, but it's fine. She's cute. Boom, baby. I also found these 2 candle holders for my friend because she has an Egyptology section in her bookcase and we love a good theme on the bookcase. And then a quick trip to the furniture, and on this fine day, it was lacking. I like the color of this, but it was too deep. I'm looking for something a little bit narrower so it doesn't stick out in front of the closet. Next, we checked the frames and we found a few contenders for the 8x10 size that we're looking for. I chose between 3 and I ended up on this one. And this is actually the reason why I wanted a new 8x10 frame. I wanted to reframe this piece of artwork that I got at a different thrift trip that I didn't vlog. The one that it came in was a little bit basic, and I like my ornate. I like extra. A few more turns about the store to see if we can find anything we needed. And I did see some tiebacks near the back of the store, but alas, they were too large. However, my judgment is this trip was not in vain. We did find one frame. Next door was yet another Goodwill, but one that we've had great success at the past, and this trip was no exception. My first step was at the art section, in which I immediately found a Cicely Mary Barker piece, which I don't know if I've mentioned, I do collect. So though it was not on the list, it does count as a win. Going through the home section, I did end up finding a wall hook, which is not on the list, but should be. Then the frame section was definitely giving this time. I found several 4x6 frames that are in the style that I'm looking for. And I also found a couple contenders for the office cabinet. However, one was a little bit too beaten up, and then the other one, though it was the right measurements and also looks vintage, when I actually went to open up the drawers, I found that it was a little bit flimsy and I was afraid that it was gonna fall apart if I just looked at it wrong. So alas, I left it. Still wasn't finding the other things on my list, but I was feeling a lot less discouraged. I browsed for a bit more and then I cashed out my wins. I ended up coming home with these 2 frames, which I already have photos in them, but just to test them out, make sure they were in fact the right size, because I did not bring a measuring tape like a noob. But I picked these 2 because the other one was a bit more beat up and I feel like these ones match the style that we're going for a bit more. I also got a $3 grab bag, which had these really cool frames in different sizes. So we have this larger size, medium size, smaller size. Still don't know what I'm gonna do with these, but it was a good deal and I like gold, so. Of course I got the flower fairies. I was not gonna leave that behind, I'm not crazy. The wall hook, because that is a very practical find. This set of botanical pillowcases, and this cute little fairy core dress. Feeling the high of that trip, we decided to do one last stop, another arc. I immediately grabbed a cart to taunt the thrift gods, and I was off with coffee in hand and plenty of gumption. I immediately started to find cool things, as well as some things from forgotten lists of the past, like this jar. And yes, I did actually end up buying it. And this is why I continue to do this video, these 2 trips. It's really easy to go to a couple of thrift stores, find nothing that you're looking for, and then immediately give up. I definitely almost did. And yes, I still felt discouraged even after finding the Lord of the Rings shirt, because I am hyper-focused. When I am on a mission, I am hell-bent on that mission. I was thinking to myself, the whole point of this video is for me to shop this dang list, and if I go home with nothing from this list, this is going to be a very unsatisfying video. But now that I've had time to decompress and reflect, I've also had the time and space to reframe the entire takeaway of this video. Firstly, being focused and thrifting with a purpose helps you curate your style and also helps to prevent overconsumption. With that being said, if you go that route, you'll have to prepare yourself for disappointment. Still, I would say to give yourself enough space and grace to be open to finding things that you didn't know you needed. So don't deny yourself an amazing find, even if it's not on your list. If it's something that you're gonna love, you're gonna use, or you're gonna cherish, stick it in the cart. But with all of that being said, I still think it's worth being selective. Ask yourself, am I buying this because I love it? Or am I just buying it because I don't wanna leave the store empty-handed? These are just a few things to think about while you're thrifting. Take it or leave it. On that note, I could have bought these shadow box miniatures. These were such a unique and fun find, but they aren't exactly my style. TBH, I wouldn't know where to put them or how they would fit into my current decor. And yes, I could have bought them for my whatnot shows, but I really didn't want to deny anyone the experience to discover these in the wild. Also, trying to ship them would be an absolute nightmare. Okay, but one thing that I did find that I was super excited for, again, not on the list, but I previously found plates from this line when thrifting with a friend, but they were massive and I did not think they would fit in our cupboards. I told her that I would keep an eye out and if I found smaller ones that I would buy those, and not not even a week later in a completely different town, a completely different thrift chain, I found them, and smaller. I also grabbed these burgundy plates and matching bowls, perfect for our whimsy little house. Lastly, I found this gorgeous fairy statue with places for candles. She is missing a wing. She is sans one wing. But I was thinking back to when I previously turned down a one-winged fairy. You guys reminded me that I have the ability and the delulu to try to sculpt a replacement. And this one is a pretty simple style, so I'm gonna give it a shot. And wouldn't you know, I already had some clay coming in the mail that I had ordered for a different project. So yes, I did get her even though she's broken. So now I thought I would recap everything that I bought on this trip, but I'm also going to be including some items that I got at previous trips that I didn't vlog. So starting from the last store and going back, I didn't show you guys this, I didn't vlog it, but I also got another copy of The Hobbit on paperback. I also did get the Dragon Age statue. No, we don't play the game, but I love dragons and he's so cool. Kind of scary. Got the burgundy bowls, the burgundy plates. These are heavy. These plates. The glass jar. Also not pictured on camera, I got my friend this scarf because she's making a Van Gogh inspired outfit for her mother for Ren Fair. Fairy dress. Gold frames of various sizes. 4x6 frames for the gallery wall. Cottagecore pillowcases. Cicely Mary Barker flower fairies. Wall hooks for hats and or jackets. Fairy candle holder. Also forgot my homegirl one-winged fairy. Egyptian candle holders for my friend. 8x10 frame to put this whimsigoth art. And if you're wondering what this says, it says, life, follow your heart wherever it takes you and be happy. Life is brief and very fragile and only loaned to us for a while. Wake up every morning with the thought that something wonderful is about to happen. 5x7 frame. Various workout tops, not very interesting. Lord of the Rings t-shirt, very interesting. Now for some other things that I picked up in the last couple months. We have this really pretty whimsigoth frame. I have a picture of me and my husband when we got engaged in it. Oh, the scream I scrumped when I saw this. This whimsigoth moon, which it did break on the way to the car, but I glued it together. Found this first. I actually did scream a scream. A sun plaque. Now, both of these are made of concrete. I think this was someone's DIY. Very much looks like it on the back. I cannot hang these inside my house. It will rip down the drywall. So I think these are gonna be on the siding of the house in the backyard or something, because that's at least a little bit stronger. These are freaking heavy. That same trip with my friend, by the way, I found these the trip that I saw those plates and I was like, I'm gonna manifest it. But I was near the kids section and I just saw the font, Lord of the Rings, and I was like, what is that?
Oh my God, what is that?
It's freaking Samwise Gamgee in his orc disguise. We have a couple little fun mugs. First of all, we have this Tinkerbell one. If we ever have a kiddo, that'll be saved for them. We have this tree stump mug, which will be absolutely perfect for a Ren Fair outfit. Apparently this mug is very controversial. I thought it was just cute and it was like $1, but apparently this is tied to like an AI scam. It's also made of resin. I can't drink out of it, but I'm putting my paintbrushes in it. Next, I got this cute binder, which I plan on using as an album. I just need to get the inserts because my current album, it's falling apart, so I need something new. We have this cute little square frame, which was in its original box. Next, I got these cute little guys. Got a wizard and I think is a gnome. Again, I am working on my self-control when it comes to thrifting fantasy stuff, but I couldn't pass these up. They're vintage, they're cool. His staff is broken, but he's on a shelf, you can't really tell. Got a little dish to put my scrunchies in the bathroom. And I did get these pants, which are very much giving Ren Fair. However, I feel like they're a little too tight on me, so I'm gonna gift these to a friend. Yes, these are amazing finds, and admittedly my stores are above average in terms of quality, so you got me there, I am lucky. However, I would like to reiterate my point that when it comes to coming home with an amazing thrift haul, especially when you thrift with intention, it takes a lot of perseverance, walking out with nothing and try again. Not all of us have the time to spend all day thrifting going to every store in town. For many of us, it takes several, if not dozens of trips when we have time after work, when we're running errands, and only going to ones that happen to be be in the area and only going in for 10 to 20 minutes max. That, my friends, is the reality of it, and it takes a lot of patience. So if you're someone who's gotten discouraged from thrifting because your hauls don't compare to the ones you see on the internet, just remember that those people on the internet are not sharing their struggles with you and only showing you the highlights. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this part thrift with me, part thrift haul, part real talk. Thank you to my patrons and my channel members for supporting me. If you would like to join their ranks as the coolest people on the internet, links below, but if not, I appreciate you just being here and engaging with my content. And also thank you to everyone that's been sending me well wishes while my eye heals. If you like this video, please like it. And if you've never seen my face before and you've got some time to kill, check out these videos because the algorithm thinks that you will like them. Subscribe for more fantasy gremlin thrifty madness. And that's all, folks. See you next time. Boop!